Hi, Michelle. Lovely to see you on here from Calgary in Canada. What's the weather like there? Is it autumn there, or is it sort of still? Is it colder than that? My friend lives in Canada. I can't remember which town she lives in. Hello, Diane. Lovely to see you. Hello, Mel. Lovely to see you too. Hope you're all. Oh, Tani. Hello. Yes, I am good. I hope you're well as well. Have you had a good day? Hello, Linda. Lovely to see you. Hello, Andrea. Haven't seen you for a little while. I haven't been here for a little while, but it's lovely to see you all. Hi, Katie. What's the weather like where you are? It's dismal here. Hello, Helen. I'm good. Yes, it's a good day. It's 4:01 a.m. Tani, you're dedicated, aren't you? To be up at that time of the morning. I give you props for that, definitely. Hello, Linda. I've had a wonderful day today. I have been out with the dog. Lovely in Scotland. Lovely, Diane. I kept laughing faces, Tani, definitely. I've been to my granddaughter's first birthday today. Dulcie, her name is, and she turned 1 today. Can't believe a year has gone by, but it has. So, yeah. It's early autumn, and I'm actually in a little town called Sylvian Lake, Alberta, near Calgary. Sounds beautiful, Michelle. 4:01 there too as well, May. Katie, a little chilly, not too bad though. Yeah, I've got my jumper on today. But I keep going hot and cold. It's my age. Lovely and sunny in South Wales. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much. Right, okay, so let's get cracking because there's a few of us on here. So I'm going to do mini readings. Try and keep them mini. I'm not going to give much information. So if you can understand, well, I will give information, but I'm not going to give loads before I actually ask if anyone can take it. Okay. I'm also going to do cards if I'm drawn as well. And we'll just see where we go from there. I think I'm going to go to the spirit world first. So if you just bear with me. Okay, who have we got with me? Right, I've got a gentleman with me. And this gentleman, I feel that he was, I'm going to say partner, husband or partner. That's what I want to say with this gentleman. I don't think I want to change that. No, I don't. Yeah, husband or partner. This gentleman, he was probably about, he was quite tall, between 5'10" upwards, I would say, with this gentleman. He had a swagger about him. He really had a swagger about him. He was always well dressed. He always liked to look nice. Okay. He always looked nice. He was quite fit, I feel. Fit, he was physically fit, is what I want to say. But I do feel that he would have passed the spirit world with a heart attack. So I feel that his passing wasn't expected. So that's I feel like it wasn't expected and it was quite sudden. And I feel as though with this gentleman that it was an underlining condition. Michelle, you say you have a husband in spirit. He was 5'10". Can you understand anything else that I've given to you? This gentleman, your husband had a heart attack, unexpected. Okay, so would you understand, Michelle, the way I described him? I feel that he was physically fit. Okay, I feel with him that he liked to look nice. Okay, he always, and I want to say that his hair would always have been nice. And whatever he was wearing, he was quite a cheeky chappy, Michelle. That's what I want to say about him. He was a real personality. That's what I want to say with him. And I also I also want to say with him that he got the gift of the gab. And what I mean by that is that, you know, he could talk. He was very open man. He was very chatty. It sounds like your father. Right, okay. So you need to differentiate between the two, because whoever I've got, I mean, I may be out with it being husband. I felt that there was a closeness with you, but I'm going to stand by the description that I've given of this man, and I'm also going to stand by, you know, the fact that he always had his fingers in a lot of pies. That's what I want to say, Michelle. He was a jack of all trades. That's what I want to say about him. A jack of all trades. He was someone that could make you feel really comfortable. He was a very sociable man as well, Michelle. I want to say that with him. And I also want to say with him as well that he could lighten up a room. He could really lighten up a room, you know, when he was in there. And right, okay. I'm going to work with you, Michelle, because I do feel drawn to you. I may have been out with who it was. I'm not always correct, okay? But I'm sticking by the description. So if you can take this as father, we'll take that. Can you also understand, Michelle, that he was someone who was always on the go? That's what I don't think he wasn't a gentleman who liked to sit down too much. That's what I want to say. He was always up to something. Family to him were very, very important to him. I want to say with him that he was a real popular man as well. And I also want to say that he had a charm about him. He had a real charm about him, Michelle, if you can understand that with him. Your dad was always on the go. Well, we're with your dad then, Michelle, but that's okay. So we're with your dad. But yeah, he had a charm about him, but he was also very kind as well. He would do anything for anybody, you know, if he could. If he could help out, he would help out. And he was a generous man as well. That's what I want to say. Family were really important to him, Michelle, as well. I have to say that. And I want to say that you would have had quite a close bond with your dad. You would have looked up to your father. Most little girls do, I know, but I just feel with you, he was your hero. And he was someone who, if you were in his arms, he would make you feel safe. He would make you feel safe. Now, I've got the name David, I've got the name Brian, and I've got the name Stuart. So David, Brian, and Stuart. I don't know if you can understand any of those names, but they're the names that have been given to me. I also want to give you the month of July, and I want to give you the third week in July. The third week in July as an anniversary or a passing. So I don't know if you can understand any of those, but that's what I've been given. He was right. You were his baby girl, so you were his favourite then, Michelle, definitely. Okay, and you would understand also with him the bond that you two had as well, because I do feel that he was really quite protective of you. And I also want to say that you could do no wrong. That's what I want to say. You could do no wrong. Okay. Right, Michelle. I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through this evening. The reason why he's come through to see you. Okay. Right. Let me see. What have you got to say? Okay. So your dad. Beaming smile on his face, Michelle. Beaming smile on his face. Okay. He's come through to see you today. He's come through with some healing for you, Michelle. Okay. I feel around you. I feel around you at the way he's saying around you at the moment. I think things have been a bit. You've been on the go quite a lot yourself. I feel things have been quite up, quite down at the moment, and he's coming through with that healing to give you a little bit of a boost, Michelle. That's what I want to say. He's coming through to give you a bit of a boost. He also wants to say how he first of all wants to say that okay, that he's sorry he was taken away so suddenly. He knows it was a shock, and he knows that it caused devastation, because I feel that it did. He's making me feel that around him. He was a much loved man, not only from his family, but for those around him. I do want to say, though, he's saying that the send off you gave to me was amazing. So if you can understand that, Michelle, that's great. And yeah, I have to say that he's saying that it was amazing. Um, he also wants you to know, Michelle, that he is always here. Okay, he is always here. I don't know if you do talk to your dad at all. Okay, but he is also always here if you want to talk to him, and in some way he will be around you. And as I said, at the moment he's around you with that healing. He's wanting you to he says, I know that it's hard with the loss that you've had. Okay, he's saying he knows that. He said, and you've been incredibly strong, Michelle. Okay, you've been incredibly strong. But he's saying that now is the time to start to put one foot in front of the other, okay? And just put your feelers out there, out into the world, because he's saying that you are too beautiful a soul to be held back, okay? And he means that with all of his heart, Michelle. All right, so I'm going to leave his love with you. Okay, and I'm going to say thank you for working with me. I also want to give you a teddy bear as well. I don't know if your dad would have ever actually given you a teddy bear, but I want to give you a teddy bear, and this teddy bear is probably about this big. He's not a tiny one, he's not a massive one, he's a middle of the road teddy bear, and he was lovely and squishy. So I'm leaving that with you as well. Okay, Michelle? So thank you very much for working with me. He was a wonderful man. Right, let's go to a card. Okay. Hello, Ara. Hello, Helen. Hello, Sarah. Ara, I am drawn to you. Okay, so I am going to pull a card for you, Ara, and we'll see where we go from there. All right, if you could just acknowledge that you've heard me. Oh, yeah, you have. Lovely. Thank you. Okay, let's pull a card. Okay, Ara. So the card that I've got for you, these are angel cards that I'm going to read. The card that I've got for you is a card called Listen. Okay, I'm going to show you the card the best way that I can. Great at doing this. So that way, Claire. So this is an angel, and she's sitting down and she's doing that. Okay. And it looks like she's in a quiet place. Okay, so I'm going to read what the card says, Ara, and then we'll take it from there. Quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you. Listen. Right. Okay, Ara, would you understand that your mind is very busy most of the time? Would you understand that? And I want to say with you that you have lots of things going on in your head. And I feel like your head is racing at 95 miles an hour most of the time. And I want to say also with you that you're someone also who is on the go most of the time as well. That's what I want to say about you. And I want to say sometimes, if you can understand this, that you get a little bit overwhelmed with everything because there's so much going on. You just don't know which way to turn, left or right, up or down. You just like, I don't really know, which way to do. And when you get like that, I feel that that you get quite anxious about that. I also feel with you, Ara, that you question yourself sometimes. I feel as though you go over and over, in your mind. And it starts off as something little, and it manifests itself into something enormous. And you get to the point where you feel like your head's going to explode at times. You get overwhelmed and you end up freezing, right? Okay, yeah. So what this card is saying to you is that you somehow need to quieten your mind, okay, to quieten your mind down, but also to listen to your thoughts and yourself as well, okay? Because I feel with you, once you start to take it down a little bit, a notch or two, things will start to become clearer, okay? And what this card is also saying as well, I don't know if you feel spirit around you, Ara, or not, but I do feel with you that there are spirit around you, and they are trying to help, okay? They're trying to help you with the chaos that is going on, all right? But because your mind is so busy, you don't hear, okay? And I also feel that you don't hear, but you also, because it's so chaotic, you don't hear, you just don't have it's not, nothing's getting sorted. I think that's what I want to say. Nothing is getting sorted. So what this card is saying, and what you need to do, you're anxious. Yeah, okay. You need to somehow be able to just be a little bit. And I know that's not easy, Ara. I know it's not easy. And it's not easy when you're anxious as well, because the anxiety just keeps going. I understand that. But even, I mean, I don't know where you live, but even if you could just, right, okay. Even if you could just step outside, okay, and breathe in the air, okay. And also as well, so you do have spirit around you, and this card is saying, listen, okay, because of all this anxiousness and chaos that's going on, you can't listen to them, and you end up procrastinating. Yes, you do. And then you end up thinking, is it me? Am I wrong? Okay. But what you need to do for them to be able to work with you, okay, and for your own peace and well-being, you need to somehow take that time. Going outside in the morning or whenever and breathing in air will bring your anxiety down. Sitting in meditation, even if it's only for 5 minutes, that will bring it down. And they will be there, and they will be trying to guide you and help you, which they are doing now, but you just need to bring it down a little bit. Okay, so this card, it's very positive card, Ara. Okay, they're saying that you need to listen to them. Okay, and you just need to find a way. Okay, so hopefully the next time, if you're on here again, you'll be able to say that that is working for you. So I hope that helps you, Ara. I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, and I hope that helps you on your journey. Right, okay, I'm going to go back to the spirit world. Let me go back to the spirit world and see who I've got with me. Okay, so I've got a gentleman with me in the spirit world. Oh, thank you, Ara. I've got a gentleman with me in the spirit world, and I want to say that I feel as though this gentleman would have been father, definitely would have been father or like a father. This gentleman, he was quite a tall man. He was quite a tall man, I'd say, probably again between 5'11" and 6 foot, something like that. This gentleman, he was of a bigger build. That's what I want to say. He was a well-built man, okay? And I do believe with him also, he would have had a bit of a stomach. So, and I want to say that he would have liked his food, all right? I also want to say he would have passed the spirit world. Now, I feel towards the end of his life, I want to say, I feel it may have been a lung condition, because I feel very breathless. Okay. So I'm feeling breathless. And I also feel as though it was really difficult to get my breath and to talk. So I feel right towards the end of his life, he would have had to have oxygen at some point with this gentleman. And it was quite debilitating for him as well. Okay, Rebecca, what is broncho pneumonia? Right. Okay. All right then. I also want to say about this gentleman, I don't know if you can understand this, Rebecca. Would you understand that your father was someone who he liked to be outside? I just feel that he would have been outside a lot. And I want to say also that he would have been I do feel that his work would have taken him outside as well. I feel he was a real hands-on hands-on dad is what I want to say. And he was someone who he was a doer. He really was a doer. Right, Rebecca, you say yes, spot on. He worked outside as well, right? Okay. I'm just seeing, yeah. Okay, Rebecca, I'm gonna work with you, Rebecca, because I do feel drawn to you. So, I'm not with you, Corey. No, I'm with you, Rebecca. So let's work together, Rebecca. Okay. So this gentleman, he was a lovely man. Yeah. He was always half a glass full is what I want to say about this gentleman. And I can see a smile on his face as well. So I believe that he was I do believe that he was happy with his lot. That's what I want to say about him. And he was a gentleman who would he'd go out and he'd do a good day's work. He was a real hard worker, your dad. I've got to say that about him. And he would work long hours as well, I feel, with him. He was half full, right? Okay. And I feel that when he would come home, he would be beat. Saying that, he would always make time for the family. He would always make time for you, okay? And he would, no matter how tired he was, he would always have that time with you, because I feel with your dad that time was very precious, okay? Time spent was very precious with the family to him, okay? And I want to say, with him as well that because of the hours that he worked, he was out a lot. So you didn't get to see him. Oh, right. You didn't get to see him much. Yeah. But when you did, he always would make that time at some point. That's what I want to say about him as well. Would you understand with him, Rebecca, that he loved his food? Because I can just see him sitting there with his hands on his belly, like he's had a really good meal. I want to say that he liked his food. He really did. Now, I've just been given the name Albert George and Michael. So I don't know if you can take any of those names, Albert, George and Michael. Okay. I also want to give you the 17th of October as an anniversary or a passing. I've just been given the number 17 and I've just been given the month October. So I don't know if you can take that, but that was significant for some reason. Okay. You recognise the names. Lovely. Thank you. And would I be right in saying, Rebecca, that he liked his creature comforts, and I feel he was looked after well. He was certainly well fed. And I also want to say, I feel that he would have had a sweet tooth, Rebecca. Would you understand that with him as well? 27th, right. Okay, maybe I'm out by 10 days, but I heard the 17th. So I'm gonna say the 17th. All right. Okay, right. Let me see what else. Would you understand that your dad liked a strong cup of tea? When I say strong, I mean that you could put the spoon in it and it wouldn't fall over. He liked a strong cup of tea, I feel. Builder's tea. That's what I want to say. Builder's tea. Yeah, I just got given that builder's tea. So you can take sweet tooth. Don't know if you can take builder's tea as well. Right. Okay. I am going to go to the reason why he's come through to see you, because he is really, really excited to come through and see you. Okay. Right. What has he got to say? First of all, he wants to say to you, you're not okay, this is what he's saying. You're certainly not my little girl anymore. He's saying you have grown into a fine and beautiful woman. He's saying, as he knew you always would. Okay. He's saying you have kindness. He's saying you have empathy. Okay. And he's saying that you care. You care about others and you care about those that you love. Okay. And he wants to say that he could always see that with you, because you always had this gentleness to you. Okay. Would you understand that you like animals? I feel that you have an empathy with animals as well, Rebecca. He's saying animals, so I feel you have an empathy with animals. Yeah, right. Sorry, back to what he was saying. He also wants to say to you that he struggled. He really struggled with his condition. He knows that. And he knows that it was very oh, really, animals are your life, right? Okay. And he always could always see that empathy within you. Okay. And he just wants to know you to know how very proud he is of you, Rebecca. Okay. I don't know if you're an empath. You may well feel spirit around you, but I feel that your dad is around you. Um, what your dad wants to say to you is, okay, he wants to say to you, Rebecca, that the work that you do and the love that you give, okay, is second to none, and it is amazing. Okay. But what he also wants to say to you, Rebecca, is that you also need to have time for you. Okay. And he's also saying as well, Rebecca, that don't always listen to what everybody says. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. But what he's saying is, listen to your own instincts. Listen to your gut. Do not ever let anybody try and sway you in any way whatsoever. Okay? So that's his message to you, to always believe, always trust in your gut. Okay? He's always here. All right? And don't let others try to influence you in any way if you don't feel comfortable with that, Rebecca. Okay? So I'm going to leave his love with you and say thank you very much for working with me. He was a lovely man. He really was. It does make sense, right? I'm glad, Rebecca. I'm glad. Lovely. Right, I'm going to do another card. Let me see where I'm going. You're welcome, Rebecca. You really are. That's what I'm here for, to be a channel to help. Right, okay. I am going to go to Mel McConnell. So, Mel, I'm going to pick a card for you because I'm drawn to your name. So, okay. Let's pick a card now and see what we get. Right, okay, Mel. So, the card that I've got for you is a card called Notice the Signs. Okay, and this is a beautiful card. It's quite a dark card, so I don't know if you'll be able to see all of it. It's sort of like a dark maroony background. Okay, but it's of an angel, and she has a feather. She's dropping a feather, and she's dressed in a beautiful purple dress with gold detail as well. Now, purple for me is a very spiritual color. So we'll read what the card says and then we'll go from there. Right. Yes, the signs you're receiving are heaven sent. We drop feathers, coins, and other signs upon your path to remind you that you're loved and never alone. Right, okay, Mel. Okay, so Mel, would you understand? I do feel with you, Mel. Have there been things? Have you noticed things turning up, or being out of place, or just even a feeling with you? Have you felt that? Because I want to say that I feel this card, as I said, this card is a very spiritual card. I'm feeling that spirit are wanting to work with you. Okay, Mel, I really do feel that. Yes, all the time. Right. Okay. So you do. So you get the feathers, you get the coins, you get the things um, over the place, and you get the feelings as well. Right. Okay. Um, so I feel if you've been having this for some time now, and obviously it doesn't phase you, you're not scared by it at all. Okay. And I feel with you that spirit um are trying to get hold of you and trying to say, Mel, we want to work with you. Like, oh, you're wanting to learn to work with spirit, are you? Okay. Well, spirit are saying to you, can you please listen to us? We're here, we're showing you, we want you to do this work. Okay. I've had it for years, definitely not scared. I welcome it. Well, that's good. That is really good. But they are saying to you now that they need you to start developing. They need you to start developing and to start working because they want to work with you. They want to work with you. Do you go to church, Mel, or do you sit in a circle already? That's I feel if you're not, then you need to. Okay. I really do feel that you need to. Would you understand, Michelle, um, that you can, how can I put this? When you meet someone, would you understand that you can sense who they are and you get that knowing about them? Would you understand that? Because I get this feeling, I have this sense that you have this knowing about things. And I feel that when you meet people, you can tell who they are or how they are almost immediately. That's what I want to say with you. Right. Okay. So you do. Right. Okay. So my advice to you, and this is what spirit are saying to you as well, and this is what this card is saying to you, Mel. So really look into that. If you have a spiritual church near you, I would suggest that you go to a service and meet the people, and meet like-minded people. That's what I would say. Or you can sit in circle or go to church services online. There are lots of services online, and they're all through the week, on a Sunday, anything like that. So I really would suggest that you do that. I also want to say, I don't know if you meditate or you sit. There's a lot of meditation going on in these readings today. I do feel that you have the ability to sit. Okay. So I feel that you should sit. And when I say sit and meditate, listen to a piece of music. Okay. Only do it for 5 minutes, but just let go and see where spirit are and see what they have to say. Okay. So they're saying this now, Mel. You really need to do that. Okay. So I hope that helps. And yes, I hope you find somewhere soon. Right. Okay. Okay, I'm going back to the spirit world. Let's go to the spirit world again. Okay, I've got a gentleman with me, and I want to say, I feel as though this gentleman is, I want to say his grandfather. I'm going to say his grandfather, this gentleman. This gentleman He's not enormously tall. I'd say he's about 5'8", 5'10", something like that. I want to say that this gentleman would have lived to a good age, okay, and I feel that he would have passed to the spirit world. I'm being taken to my stomach, so whether or not it's stomach cancer or pancreatic cancer or something like that, I'm not quite sure. I want to say that this gentleman, the way that he's presenting himself to me, this gentleman would have been in the forces. And I also want to say that this gentleman would have been in the army, because the clothes that he's wearing are army issue. They're the green, the green plaid, the green plaid clothes. I don't really know how to explain it. And I feel with this gentleman also that he would have received a medal for his bravery. That's what I want to say. I feel he would have received a medal for his bravery. And not your pop, your grandpa, right? Okay. He would have received a medal for his bravery. Okay. And he would have been, and I also want to say he would have been mentioned in dispatches. I don't know what that means, but I've heard of that. I feel he was mentioned in dispatches. So let me just have a look. Dawn, your granddad died of cancer and he was in the army. Right, okay. Karen, your grandfather died at 98. He was in World War One. Right, okay. Karen, do you understand the condition that I gave you? Do you understand that? I do feel drawn to you, Karen. But I just want to, can you understand what I sort of said that he passed with? And you can understand that as well, Dawn. Your granddad did too, Sharon, right? Do you know, I feel like I'm with you, Karen. I really do. So I'm going to work with you if that's all right. And I'll tell you for why, because the uniform that I can see is an old uniform, which I feel would have been World War One, because I can see the rounded I'm with you. So everybody else keep listening, but I'm with Karen Bowden. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, so there was like I know they had it in the Second World War as well, but there was the sort of the tin hat that they would wear, but also it was the boots that they would wear in the First World War. They were they weren't really great, were they? And yeah, and I can see a gun, the gun that they would have, and I could see a bayonet. I could see a bayonet with it as well. So for me, that is the evidence that I am with you, Karen. Did you know him, Karen? Did you know him well? Did you know your grandfather? And did you spend time with your grandfather? Would you know things about him? Is what it is sort of what I'm trying to get at. Right. Okay. So a little bit more about him. Yes. So your grandfather, he was very brave, very brave, and he would. I want to say also with him that that the other soldiers that he would have been working with alongside, I want to say that they looked up to your grandfather. He was someone who was very organized, and he was quite calm in a situation, is what I want to say, Karen. And I feel that, and also with him as well, I feel that he would have never asked anybody to do something that he wouldn't do. So he would be there, in the action. That's what I want to say about him. You lived with him, right? Okay. I also want to say about him as well that when he came back from the war, and I don't know if you remember this, you might have to ask this, but I feel when he came back from the war, it changed him, because I feel with him that he had seen things that no person is meant to see. Okay. And I know that happened to a lot of men, but I do feel with your grandfather that happened to him also. So when he was back, and he was back in the home, I feel that he was quite a changed man. He was still the same man in a way, but there was I want to say there was a quietness about him. Okay. And I also want to say that I don't feel that he would have talked about it really a lot. I mean, people would have talked about his medal. Okay. And I feel that he was proud of that. And people were very proud of him because of what he did. But I don't feel that anyone would have ever known exactly what he went through. That's what I'm trying to say to you, Karen. Okay. And I also feel with your grandfather as well that there would be times when he liked the peace and quiet. That's what I want to say about him. He liked peace and quiet. So sometimes he would take himself off, is what I want to say, just so that he could be on his own. I also want to say with him, I feel that he did love to be outside, and to be out in nature and to be out in open spaces. That's what I want to say about him. I also want to say that he was a great granddad to you. Okay. He was a bit like he was a bit like a dad, really. You spent what have you said no to, Karen? You spent a lot of time. If you could just tell me what is a no, and I'll see if I can. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I want to say that he was fun to be around, and he was kind, and he definitely had stories to tell. I want to say that with him as well. Sorry, I'm getting a bit hot here. Yes. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So I've been given the name. I've been given the name Wilfred. I've been given the name Norman, and I've been given the name Albert. I think I've already had that once tonight. I've been given the name Albert again. Okay. And I also want to give you January. Okay. And I want to give you the first 2 weeks of January for an anniversary or a passing. I don't know if you can understand that or any of that at all. And I want to say that I want to just say, Karen, that your granddad was a strong and silent type. Okay, he was always there if he was needed. That's what I want to say about him. And you would have felt safe with him. Yeah, many stories. Yeah, he had many stories to tell. Right, I'm going to go to the reason why he has come through. Just have a drink of water. I'm just getting a bit hot here. Okay. Okay. So he's coming. He's come through tonight and to be with you tonight, Karen, to give you some upliftment. I feel to give you some joy. I want to say with you, would you? Your dad is William. Okay, thank you. Would you understand that you've been lacking a little bit of joy and a little bit of upliftment at the moment? Would you understand that with you at the moment? Because your grandfather's coming round with sort of a big boost. Okay, I feel like you could do with a boost at the moment. You could do with something joyous happening. That's just the way that he's making me feel. He also wants me to say to you also as well that you were always his little bundle of joy. He said you were funny. He said you were what's the word, inquisitive. You always asked why, or you were quite, you wanted to know things, and he loved that about you. He really did, because you were your own little person. That's what he's saying to me. You were your own little individual person. That's what I want to say to you. Okay. And he's saying it was a joy to watch you learn, and to watch you grow. Right. Okay. So that is what he's come round with. Okay. He's come round with some joy and some upliftment for you. Okay. Because I feel that you need that at the moment. I feel at the moment that things have been particularly tough. Okay. The last few weeks, maybe a month or so, I want to say things have been particularly tough for you, and it's been quite hard. Okay, quite hard to put one foot in front of the other. All right. And your granddad is here with you, with this joy for you and with this hope for you, because he wants to say to you, okay, there's all, how can I put this? There's always something to look forward to, and there is always something to get up for every day. That's what he's saying. I'm trying to turn what he's saying to me. He wants to say, you are beautiful. You may not believe that, but you are, he said. You have a beautiful soul, he said, and you are like a little shining light. But I don't feel that you believe that in yourself. Okay. So he's around you at the moment. All right. He's around you, trying to give you as much support, Karen, as much support as he can. All right. So I hope that helped you in some way. Okay. I hope that helped a little bit to sort of say, he knows it's hard. Okay. And I want to leave his love with you. Okay. So thank you, everybody. It's been wonderful. Hope to see you all again soon. Take care. Safe travels. Bye-bye.